Hi, I'm Ryan from Amber Elm, and this is Udio Beta. Udio is basically just a generative artificial intelligence model that will make music based on text prompts. I've seen a bunch of companies come in and make music based on text prompts, but this one's a little bit different, and it leads me to think that we could all be in not too long. So today I wanted to go over a few examples of some of the prompts that I made, some of the prompts that others have made, why I think we actually might be okay, why I think I'm wrong and we're totally, absolutely screwed, and I really want to get your take on all this AI music generative business. So let's go into Udio and make some examples with some text prompts. All right, so let's prompt this thing with a neoclassical piano piece that is slow and beautiful. That's a pretty simple prompt. And using this for free, you get, I think, 10 credits a day. Each one of these is 1 credit, so it's 2 credits per prompt, but then you can sort of choose to remix them, I think, for 1 credit. Oh, one of them's ready. All right, and here is Elegy in Echoes. Well, shit, those are pretty good. That last one was pretty good. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see. Piano and violin underscore for a scene in a movie about father and son. I don't know. That's sort of random, but let's see what happens. All right, let's see. So it clearly ignored my piano and violin underscore. Legacy interlude. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So some of the ones I did yesterday, let's see if I can pull up my creations. When I learned about this yesterday, there was a couple that really made me stop and say, ah, shit. Okay, so my prompt for this one, Elegy of Silence, it was a minimalist classical piano piece that's melancholic and down-tempo with not too many notes. And what it gave me was not, here, we'll play it first. So I don't know, like it doesn't sound that realistic. It does in a way, but it sounds good. I really like that one. And it's not because it like nailed the prompt. I mean, the prompt is the prompt, minimalist. It is pretty minimalist. It's classical piano. It's got a lot of notes, but not really. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of different notes. So it sort of does take this and run with it in a creative direction, like it would if I was giving this to a friend. So yeah, it's kind of nuts. But let me show you sort of what the one that really sort of blew my mind was. Okay, here it is, Whispering Silhouette. So this is one of the first ones that I did. The prompt, a neoclassical piano piece with violin, as basic as I could get, and this is what it popped out. The piece is whatever. The violin in that to me sounded really good, and that's kind of going to that in the video. But damn. So while these sort of blew me away, just based on the fact that it was able to do it in the first place, AI kind of freaks me out anyways, anytime it does something remotely creative. I found out pretty quickly that I must just be really bad at prompting, because here's some other people's prompts that they made on Udio. I just want to stop for a second and point out the fact that this is the worst this technology will ever be. Again, the worst this is ever going to be. Just, there you go. You could obviously find little imperfections here and there, like things that don't sound perfectly real, but you can find a lot of things that do sound really, really good. And like I've said 2 or 3 times already in this video, this is the worst this is ever going to get. It's only going to get better, and it's going to get better fast, because that's just the nature of this technology and just all technology. Start learning how to prompt these, because that is going to be, I feel like that could be a job down in the future. You're a musician who just writes texts. When I was listening back to these, especially the ones with violin as like a prominent instrument, my mind immediately went to studio musicians are going to be out of work really quickly, because as soon as they can figure out how to make MIDI to audio, it's over. If I could input MIDI data into this and it could spit out realistic sounding instruments and realistic sounding stems, then there's no need to hire musicians anymore. Outside of the fact that obviously they're going to play with a human touch and it's going to be better. It'll hopefully always be better. It will hopefully always be better. And it's more fun and creative to be in the room with the musician, telling them how to alter their performance. And sometimes when you're playing with real musicians, it leads you to better and new ideas that you can implement real time. So that won't probably change. But I mean, for a lot of things, for 90% of things where people just want a realistic sounding violin line for a part of a piece, it's going to be this. It's going to be artificial intelligence. I say that because I'm a person who gets sick of sample libraries rather quickly. I'll go on to Fiverr and hire musicians to record lines, and they're really never just perfect. And it costs money to tell them to revise it and to do this. And as someone who's not making a ton of money with their original music, I don't have the money to spend to get that perfect version of it. So if I could type in a prompt and MIDI into an AI, that's sort of game changing. As it stands right now, I've only seen AI that can generate MIDI data from audio and not the other way around. If you know of something that's different, please leave it in the comments so we can kind of destroy the music industry together. So let's talk about why I think we might be okay. For the foreseeable future, it's fine. These are good, but they're not perfect. A lot of the felt piano or neoclassical piano, it's trying to emulate that key noise and the pedal noise, but it just sort of sounds like noise. It doesn't really sound that accurate yet. So for now, it's okay. Another reason why I think we're going to be okay is because I get sort of solace by looking at what happened with the writers in Hollywood and how they sort of realized that AI was going to be coming for their jobs. I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't some sort of union or some sort of law that regulated what could be used. But that could be one way that we'd be all right, saying that, humans have to be, I don't know. I'm not going to write the law. But I mean, the main reason is because I think that human-derived music will be better. Is that true? I don't know if I believe that, guys. I think that this could be just as good. I think if you played this for most people, they wouldn't know. And if you can get really good at prompting it, yeah, we're all fine. And this is really ultimately why I think this is going to be really bad for composers. I kind of hinted at it in the thumbnail. If you're wondering why it's like Olaf Arnold's big picture in the thumbnail, it's because he's a composer who writes for shows. And if these AI models can get good enough to where they can underscore shows, I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision whether or not you want to pay a composer a bunch of money to write music that AI can do for free or really cheap. I mean, if you could pay some lackey, minimum wage to prompt this thing to give you an amazing underscore, why wouldn't you do that if you're an executive who money is the bottom line? And that's, most companies. Think of all the names that aren't big names that are breaking into the industry by getting smaller jobs. These companies that they're working for don't have a big budget, and they're absolutely, in my opinion, probably going to use things like Udio in the future. And there's all those companies that don't really hire composers directly anyways. They go and they search content libraries where they can just license music for a fee. If instead of licensing music for that fee, they can go to a site and prompt in I think they're going to do that. I know this is sort of a rant video. I sort of have a lot to say about AI and music, and I probably will be making more videos about this in the future that are a little more structured and a little less ranty. But yeah, today I just wanted to rant because I found Udio a couple days ago and it sort of blew my mind, so here we are. If you made it to the end of the video, please consider sharing it, liking it, subscribing to the channel. That really helps me grow, helps me reach my goal of getting monetized this year. But yeah, also check out some of these other videos that I'm sure YouTube is recommending you right now. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.